I know that number one, I don't have any makeup on, and there's bright lights, uh, but I am in the hospital, and I did have a community post like, "Don't worry about lives this week," and I think that is pretty much like lives on my computer doing my normal schedule. So if I feel up to it or whatever, I can go ahead and do a live. So Mumsy's probably going to catch this on replay because she has to like set her alarm and actually wake up. And so if she thinks I'm not doing one, then forget it. She's not going to be joining. Um, hey, Snow's in the house. Frugal's in the house. Yeah, so no games or anything, but I know you guys are all concerned. So, okay, here's reality. Um, I'm not blowing my nose all the time. I bought a box of tissues and I went through that entire block of tissues in one day. Yesterday or the day before. Um, and so so there's no more runny nose. Runny nose is gone. That's done. I don't know if they gave me an antihistamine or what. I don't know, but runny nose is done. I'm a little bit hoarse from talking because it's like I did have one visitor. Previous Airbnb guest came by. Chani's here. Srimao came by. Let's see. The doctor's coming in. How are things going? And talking to them. Sinus infection. It's bronchitis. It's bronchitis. So, yeah, bronchitis. So the parts of your lung, bronchial things, whatever, were constricting. And because they were constricting, then they weren't, exchanging oxygen the way they should be. So things were actually, they even told the doctors, this is like something I go through every year. I just suffer through it. But I knew something was different this time, and I listened to my body. Things were actually progressing as normal, getting a little bit lighter, not gone, but it was felt better than I had periods of not blowing my nose or coughing, even though most of the day I wasn't getting sleep. And so on that last night, which was yesterday, I actually had Chani do a couple of different things to help me like be sitting up, like in a hospital bed. Because I knew that every night when I lay down, even though I had a single pillow, that I was kind of propped up as much as I could be on a single pillow, my chest was still flat. And so the fluids, started messing with the lung. They say that due to the blood, the blood exam tests, that they did find indicators of a bacteria. So I don't know specifically what those are. I think that they did give me a printout, or at least they gave me the bill of everything that was tested on in the blood exam. Anyway, so let's see. Yeah, they said there were indicators of a bacteria. So they didn't identify a bacteria, but they said there were indicators. So they're put me on. I don't know what brand, penicillin, amoxicillin, whatever. Why can't I think of the word right now? You guys can help me out. Antibiotic. I got it. Antibiotic. So they put me on antibiotics, which means, for those of you that don't know, that you should take yogurt, eat as much yogurt as possible when the antibiotic, because yogurt has a bacteria So your body actually needs bacteria for its gut and everything, right? To function properly with digestion and everything. The nurse is here. She's just changing the. I won't show her, but I'll show you. There's the IV. There's Chani. She's cold, so they're changing the IV. More. Let me see if I can read. Oh well, that one says paracetamol. That's Tylenol. And I think the big one is just, the IV fluid. Oh, I see the other one down. Oh, no, wait, that's the one she just took off. Can you move? Can you move? No, I want to move this one, yeah? What? Augmentan. Augmentan. Oh, because they added that. Okay, because it's the sodium chloride injection. That's the basic fluid. And then they added 1.2 milligrams of, I don't know if this is reversed for you or not, but AUGMOTIN. If anyone wants to look that up. Okay, I'll go on. Yeah. Let's see. I don't know where I was. Oh, yeah. So you should, if you take antibiotics, you should eat yogurt to replenish your bacteria. Of course, as long as you're continuing the antibiotics, it'll just kill the new bacteria too, right? So there's no sense. I mean, you can still eat yogurt. There's no problem with that. But in particular, when you stop the antibiotics, you should eat yogurt to replenish the good bacteria. Anyway, yeah, indicators of bacteria. So I've got the antibiotics going on. They did a, yeah, you can. So they're going to do my blood pressure and stuff too. Whatchamacallit? What did they call it's not a respirator. It's the name for the thing on. Yeah. What? I can't click. No. The. Nebulizer. Akon. A nebulizer. And so that gets medicine in it as well. As well as like water and so it's like oxygen is humidity with water and it's medicine all mixed together. Nebulizer. What? 35.5. That's Celsius. So I think 36 is 36 Tomada? Yeah. Yeah, 36 is Tomada. Is normal. And my blood pressure might be a little bit high with me speaking. I don't know. Wait. Oh, no. See, I'm talking 138/80. So the bottom number, the 80, has pretty much stayed consistent every time they've taken it since I've come in. Oh, Augmentin is amoxicillin, clavulant, clavulanate, a combination of antibiotic used to treat bacterial infections, including sinusitis, pneumonia, ear infections, bronchitis, urinary tract infections, and infections. Now, an interesting thing is they keep bugging me about like collecting some phlegm. All right. See how clear the phlegm is? They don't believe me that this is the phlegm. They'll say, no, we'll wait. We'll get it next time. This is 2 different times of me coughing up. There's no yellow. There's no green. And so then finally the doctor, when he came in this evening, I mentioned it to him. I said, look, there's nothing else. This is what you get. They say they want to wait but there is no yellow. There's nothing that looks like chicken fat. There's not, there isn't anything. And then I asked him, does that mean that like I said, since it's indicators of bacteria, could that be someplace else, like maybe a urinary tract infection? Because when I cough, I pee. So there's kind of a bit of like, I guess we would call it like incontinence, right? Which is not a normal part of my life. But I figure, hey, everybody, if you laugh really hard or something, I peed my pants, right? So I just figured it was related to coughing. And, but now it's like, well, because he's saying, yeah, that's, if it's clear like that and it's been clear the whole time, that would not be an infection in the lungs. A bacterial infection. And I said, so the bronchitis could actually just be, you can have bronchitis without having a bacterial infection. He's like, yeah. So, so there's all kinds of possibilities. We don't know. We're just treating it. We're getting it done. Danan, cranberry juice is great for urinary tract. Any idea of how long you're keeping you in for? Okay, yeah. So I came in last night. And so there's one fee for like the emergency room, right? Which all the emergency care, which included a chest x-ray, nebulizer, electrocardiogram, EKG. We would call it EKG. They might call it an ECG. All that was close to 500. And if you're in the US, your jaw's probably hitting the floor. I actually kind of weigh the cost of insurance and a deductible because if I go 3-4 years between having a need that's maybe $200 to $300 to like this one's probably going to run $1,000 to $1,500, okay, but certainly it'll be under $2,000. I could save that money if I'm going to pay the insurance premium, I could put that, which is maybe $200-$300 a year, which would then carry a deductible, right? I could put that $200 or $300 a year in a savings account, and by the time I need to use it, I've got enough to cover anything, because I'm not the type of person that runs to a doctor all the time. Let me see what you guys, look, we have some more people here too. Any idea of how long they're keeping you in? Sart, hello, Sart, welcome. Sart in the house. Yeah, that would be $14,000 visit here in the United States. Good Lord. Yeah, that's just for the emergency care. So then once they put me in a room, that's $120 a night just for the room. They don't feed you. Luckily, they're giving us bottled water. They do have a kettle to make hot water. There is hot water in a shower. It's a big bathroom that, like, in case someone needs a wheelchair or something. And there's a shower. So there's a toilet, a sink, and a shower all in one big room. And there's hot water. So that's nice. And there's a couch. You can see. Because in Cambodia, family stays to take care of you. That's the way it works. So she's got this whole couch. But she's cold. Because yeah. Oh, go ahead.
Hello, Boncha.
Yeah, hello. Yeah, Trachea means cold. She's cold. So they won't let us have any control over the temperature of the air conditioning, which is fine. But I did bring a fan. See, there's a fan from home because it just wasn't like circulating. I just need some movement. And I can kind of show you. I don't know what kind of view you got because it's turned away from me, but that's like a kitchen countertop and a little wardrobe, and there's a little mini fridge in one of the cabinets. So all that's like $120. The doctor for the day is like $60 or $70. The nurse is like $40. And then depending on the treatments you get, and this being my first day with multiple treatments needed, came to like another $500. So I've already discussed with them about let's try to bring that down. I said, I know you guys are a business, you got to make money. I understand that. And I think your prices are fair. You guys are doing awesome. But I need to keep it down as much as possible. So I hope that anything that we don't actually need, that maybe we can cut that back. Did she have, oh, I need to take those Eloni. She brought some pills and they're really strict on the timing. So if I'm going to be with you guys a while, I want to make sure I take these pills. So, muy pi.
Yeah, pi Eleni.
Yeah, 2 Eloni now. but she's just holding them over there. Okay, and this one later. All right.
Pi Kroi Eleni. Okay, sorry.
Trying to show you, give you some scale of how small. So in my hand, that's like so small. And this is like a normal thing. This is like so small. And then last night, I was trying to get one of the pills out. Oh, take this one. I was trying to like take, like, trying to get this off. And I said, oh, Sumto, please, can you do this? And he goes like this. I'm like,
Oh, the great man.
Yeah, I got lime in my water. Drop a lime and a coconut. Da 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 da. Their song something like that. I don't know. Good. Put a lime in the coconut. Watch it go down. I don't know. Where's Chalet? She always helps me on the lyrics.
Oh, muy tiệt mà đây. Muy tiệt.
Yeah, this one is okay. It's just
Beam.
it's okay. These Eloni. So they also gave me like a throat lozenge, which it sounds like I should probably put it in my mouth. Maybe I should. Maybe I can still talk around it. Yeah. Anyway, so I told them we need to cut the cost a little bit and everything, and they said, yeah, it should be less, I'm like, okay. I'm gonna, and then Jessa, my friend Jessa works here. I'm gonna have her go over like the bill with me, make sure how necessary everything is, make sure we cut things. She was trying to get me some kind of discount too. I don't know if they applied that or not, or if they would after maybe. But anyway, so the other thing that they were talking about, they did the chest x-ray, and they're just looking at the lungs, treating me for the bronchitis. They heard the wheezing. Now they don't hear any wheezing. And so then re-looking at everything closer, which is nice that they do that, they noticed that they say my heart looks enlarged. I'm like, oh, well, that doesn't sound good. And I'm like, okay. And they said, so we want to run some tests. I said, okay, yeah, do what you need to do. And then I told them that like a couple of years ago, it's 2021 or something, so 3 years ago, maybe it's even 2020, I went just for like a checkup kind of thing, and they they did a sonogram, they did an EKG, all this, and did a full evaluation. And they said my heart was like tip top shape, no problems. And so I said I could, and anytime you go to a hospital or a doctor here, they send the records home with you. X-rays. I mean, they don't keep anything. They send it with you. You're responsible for your own medical records. And so I told them, I said I could bring you to see if there's anything that they wrote up that you would understand, and I said, okay, that'd be great. They said, it's not urgent, we'll run our tests and we can compare them after. I said, okay. So then Sraimau, there's Chani and then there's also Sraimau. And so, so Chani came to the hospital with me. And then she told Sraimau that she was going to the hospital with me. So Sraimau left work. She works at a Sky Bar. Because this was at 9 o'clock, around 9 o'clock at night, I woke up coughing. I mean, not just coughing, but like choking coughing. I was coughing so bad. I hadn't thought of using the word choking, but that describes it perfectly. I was choking on my coughing that like I couldn't breathe in. I'm like, like these really strong coughs that nothing was happening except I felt like I was going to have a friggin' stroke from how hard I was coughing, and I wasn't getting any air in, and I'm just going out and nothing's coming in, and then of course it's like I'm coughing so hard I'm peeing, so I got to jump out of bed as I'm coughing and run into the shower, and I can't even turn the water on yet. I'm just standing there in the shower, so I'm not dripping pee on the bed or the floor, and just hacking away, coughing, trying to get a breath. And that's when I knew I need to go to the hospital. Hey, Deborah's in the house. And so now you know what's happening. I'm in the hospital. Yes, what are they giving you? Okay, so it's bronchitis. And when I was a senior in high school, I got bronchitis on the edge of pneumonia. So the doctors treated me for pneumonia. And that felt like I was going to die. I never want to go through that again. So I'm actually quite happy that this bronchitis isn't anything like that experience was. And so what are they giving me? We just looked it up. Augmentin, which is an amoxicillin / clavulanate. I don't know how to pronounce that one, which is a combination antibiotic. And Guy's in the house. Guy came to visit me today. Thank you so much. It was so nice. Wishing me a quick recovery. Well, it's quick now that I'm here. So they do want to keep me 2 more days. So I was at the part. They're saying I have my heart looks enlarged on the chest X-ray that they did. They tell me they're going to run the tests and then look at my previous heart examination results from like 4 years ago after. I'm like, okay. But they wait. They change their mind and they decide they want to see the results first before deciding to do the test, what tests they need to do, if they need to do any tests. They wanted to see what was previous and see how that measured up to what they were seeing today. And so Sraimau went to the house to give the animals a second feed, give Popeye some outdoor time, and collect, like, there was no towel. So I got this great hot shower, but no towel to dry off with. So she brought a towel, she brought the fan. just some things. They did have soap, and they do have toilet paper. Not all bathrooms have soap and toilet paper, but I'm glad. I mean, this is a nice modern hospital, so they got the memo that hospitals, if it's not a restaurant, at least a hospital should have the option of toilet paper and soap for everybody, right? Because they also have the little bum gun thing. It's like a little shout. You know what it's like in America? You know how sometimes in your kitchen sink, you have this little hose faucet that you can kind of pull out and you squeeze the trigger and it sprays to like rinse your dishes or maybe water the herbs that are on your windowsill or whatever. But it's like you've got your regular tap faucet and then you've got this retractable hose faucet that is just a spray, and then you push the button and it sprays. That's exactly what a bum gun is like. So every toilet, so like if you are in a restaurant, there will at least be a bum gun. But then who wants to like pull their underpants up on wetness because you have nothing to dry it with, I mean, it's just, there's different ways, Anyway, they do have toilet paper here, so that's a good thing. Snow says the last time that she was in the hospital for an extended stay was like 3 days, got 0 visitors and 0 phone calls. I'm so glad we can be here for you, and there was nothing worse than that moment. I am so sorry you went through that, Snow, and just know that, like, yeah, if you, this is with N1H1, which is a type of bird flu. Wow. Yeah. Well, I wonder if you build up immunity for that if you've had it once. That would be good. But, yeah, I would hope that I would get a notification or something if you went live and you were in the hospital. Or at least, in YouTube, we gotta like be aware of the community posts more, I think. And sometimes we have to like check someone's page. That's the first thing I do. If I haven't heard from somebody or I'm wondering about something, then I'll go and see if they've made a community post or not. Because a community post won't give a notification, but it will show up in your feed, when there's so you'll have videos, then you'll have shorts, then you'll have posts, you'll have more videos, and you'll have more shorts and more posts, so it could show up there. But if you're really interested, then let's like go check the person's channel and check the community post tab. You felt like you were coughing up pencil erasers. It was so awful. Oh my gosh, I bet. Oh. You sure it didn't feel like coughing up feathers? I know it was a bad joke, but I had to say it. Or chicken feet, maybe, I don't know. So let's see. Yeah, I'm here in the hospital in Cambodia. It's great. I mean, as far as great as being in a hospital, really great care. Reasonable price. So the enlarged heart, that's where I was. I'm sure it's like, that sounds scary, right? So I can't leave you on a cliffhanger with that. I sure hope not, because that would mean I'm a witch. No. No, I just meant if it's bird flu. If it's bird flu, would it feel like a bird? But no, don't worry about that. Let's see. So then I had a chance to ask the doctor, I'm like, well, like what makes the enlarged heart or whatever. And he basically said, and it made total sense, being that the heart is a muscle, just like if you exercise and you build up your muscles, your biceps get bigger, your triceps get bigger, your abs get harder, swine flu. Oh, okay. Then did it feel like you were coughing up bacon? I don't. Okay, so it was pork in my lungs. Yeah. Deborah, so I took a taxi. Here I used the service called Grab. It was about $4, maybe $4.50 from my house to the hospital. It's called Central Hospital. Kudos to them. It's on Street 154, I believe. It's 20 stories high. I'm on the 10th floor. Emergency's on the first floor, but then when they move you to something, so I'm on the 10th floor, and there's 20 floors. Like I said, it's extremely modern. Why did I go to this hospital? So a friend of mine works like in the marketing, and she also like fills in if there's staff like for registration or something. Then she will like fill in, but she was hired as marketing for the hotel, and she's been a good friend of mine for years. And shout out to Jessa. And so, well, Guy, who's here in the chat, or at least he was, he actually had a similar condition, but even if he had a different problem, he he came here. I said, well, Jessa knows this hospital, um, and so he came here, and he had a good experience. It was a little bit pricey for him. I mean, as a young expat, when you don't have any extra disposable income and everything, it's yeah. If I don't know what his costs were, but if he was having similar treatment to me, you know, and the first day was 1,000, and then I mean, I don't know if I can't say for his, but in mine, the first day between emergency and the room for a day was 1,000. That would be scary. That'd be a scary expense. Um, so that's why. So I thought, well, so the basic hospital here is called Calumet. They're going to give basic care at the cheapest. There's nothing going to be cheaper than Calumet. It's a government-run hospital. 1,000 US money. Yeah, 1,000 US. Oh, insurance. So now I have Forte insurance. I pay just under $100 a year for Forte insurance for the accident only gold level. So it's the highest level. I think gold, maybe they have platinum. Maybe they had silver, gold, and platinum. It wasn't the lowest level, though, for sure. Emergency, we'll see, it's not, I have to say accident, because I looked it over before coming, just so that I knew where I stood. Because if it was emergency, then this could be an emergency, right? But it's accident only. And so if I'm in a motorcycle accident, a fall, something like this, it's an actual accident, they will cover in Cambodia treatment and out of Cambodia. The medical transportation to get you someplace. If you die, they give you like $20,000 for the funeral. They will pay repatriation for your body if you want it to go back to your home country. I don't need that. My bones or ashes or whatever can stay here. If my mom wants to take some back or something, or, whatever. I've always been kind of, I believe that the soul is eternal, and your soul's not in your body anymore. So what am I going to feel? What am I going to think? What am I going to care? So it's for the people that are living that need whatever closure that they need. It's not going to matter to me. That's my view. Anyway, so that's insurance. Does Forte or other companies have regular medical insurance? Yes, it's available. I don't have it. It would have been nice if it was accident and emergency, but it's only accident. Oh, how much to pay with insurance and without? Well, it's going to be less than $1,000, right? Oh, I had been mentioning earlier, and I'll get back to the enlarged heart thing. Mentioned earlier that I'm not the type of person that runs to the hospital all the time. If I have some kind of illness or whatever, I treat it at home. I use home remedies, things like, okay, so it's got to be like this was serious to get me to actually come into a hospital. I can go to a good private doctor for like a consultation, so like an annual checkup consultation type thing. Like is his hour fee to talk to him about whatever you're worried about or whatever is like $50. And then blood work, maybe another $100, depending on what, like if you're getting a full screen, it could be like $100, around $100 for them for the lab that the lab charges to pay, and you pay the lab directly. And then they email the results to the doctor. So even if I went for like an annual checkup, which I don't, that's how minimal the cost would be. So for me, I feel like having medical insurance, I would be better. And not that I do this, all right? I'm going to be honest, because Mumsy's going to watch this, and she's going to go like, what you talking about? But logically, if I were to put the premium amount, I'm sorry, I said deductible before, but let's say even the deductible, that's like a whole nother thing. Just the premium in a savings account every year, I would have enough when something like this happens, right? But I've got the emergency, the accident one. So if I'm in a motorcycle accident or something, that's going to be taken care of. And I'd have to like look at the policy to see what kind of deductible, but I don't think there's much. Okay, so that covers all that. So back to the enlargement. So yeah, so Sri Mao went to the house to bring all these things over. And she brought the envelope. Thank you to Frugal. Shout out to Frugal, being the English speaker in the house that could open my filing cabinet to the right drawer, dig through the stuff in that drawer to find the envelope with the previous heart examination results in it, and then pass that to Sri Mao to bring. So now it's toward the end of the day. So it's kind of late to be doing the tests, right? But they get it and they come back to me and they say, well, we can do the test in the morning, but we're really, there's no immediate danger or anything. I mean, everything was fine before. It's not like, so basically it's not like some kind of chronic condition that's worsening. It's something new that maybe but the danger part is it could be like hypertension or a high blood pressure, which they don't think I have the high blood pressure because my systolic, my bottom number 80 is staying the same. And then when it goes hot, like it went to 159 or 154, 150 something on one time today. Outside of that, it was like in the 130s and 140s. The top number, the systolic first number, and the diastolic number, the bottom number, stayed at 80. So they know that I don't have a chronic high blood pressure, need medication type situation. It's just a normal time where you have cycles where you happen to have some high blood pressure. But hypertension and stress, and they were asking me, like, do I have any blurry vision? Do I have like a chronic pain in my neck or anything? I'm like, no, I don't. So, so they think that I should have an exam, but it's not like I'm right now in the moment. If they don't do it today or they don't do it tomorrow, I'm going to die of a heart attack. It's not that, right? So I suggested to them, I said, well, I'm, because of a job that I had, I have the NSSF card, which is basically, in America would be Medicare or whatever, right? There's a government medical system. So when you pay taxes, and the company I work for paid taxes, then you get the card and you can go to any of the government-run hospitals, and they will pay. I mean, it's free. It's free. The government will treat you for free at a government hospital like CalMed, which is where the heart center is. So that's where I had my heart examination before, was there at CalMed. And so then I could go there for free. So why would I pay the price here for them to do examinations when I can get it for free at CalMed? And if for some reason it's expired or something, then it's still going to cost less than here, right? Last time I had the full examination was $200. And I think it would cost more than that here. So maybe 500 or something, but still, you got to save what you can save. The hardest part was finding the filing cabinet. Oh my gosh! If it was a snake, it would have bit you. So basically, from Frugal's bedroom door, if you open the door and you look straight ahead, there's the filing cabinet. It's funny. And even the drawers would be facing him, so it's not like it's the side where it's just a big chunk of steel. It's like the actual drawers would be facing his door, so you could clearly see that it's a filing cabinet. So yeah, that's funny. Thank you for sharing that. Thank you guys for the likes. I see 3 watching and 3 likes, so I appreciate that. If you're just joining or you're watching on replay, don't forget to like. Snow's always reminding me to mention the likes. So some other hospitals that are good, on the area where I live called Choi Chun Var, there is a Sunrise Japanese hospital. Excellent care. They have an emergency room with excellent emergency care, but their forte is to do pre-screenings, because Japanese are like seriously about health. That's why they have the Kobe beef, where it's like, no, we're not going to mass produce cattle and treat them bad and eat hamburger that's unhealthy because the cow from birth to death was not treated well. No, they treat them well, and then they end up with Kobe beef or Wagyu beef. I think they're both, one's the name of the prefecture, and then one, which would be like their states, and the other one is like an area, like a county or something within there. I can't remember which is the wider and which is the more narrow, but Kobe beef, Wagyu beef, Wagyu, I don't know how to pronounce it exactly right. I live in Phnom Penh. Choi Chun Var is that peninsula that's in between the Tonle Sap River and the Mekong River. And so Sunrise, so they're really good at preventative. So what they do is they have their own so instead of buying insurance, you pay $150 a year that includes all your annual checkup, right? And then you're in their system, and if you have some kind of other need, like I tore my ACL thank goodness when I say tore, I don't mean tore across all the way like that. I mean, it was like this, and it was like a rip, a vertical rip. So that was a lot easier to heal. But I went to them with the knee, and they did an MRI and everything. Well, I think that was $200. Or maybe they were both $200 because in my medical records, which Chani was looking for some, and she ended up bringing the ACL. And then we brought this one too, the heart examination. I think they were both around $200. So MRI and all that. But what they don't have is in treatment. You have to go someplace else for that. So they take care of it's more of an outpatient clinic, you could say. I think they do have a few beds maybe in the emergency situation that you need to be stabilized before you can go someplace else. But they don't do any kind of long-term care in that sense. It's more outpatient. Their focus is on, as healthcare should be, I think, on prevention. Let's make sure you have your checkups. Let's identify any issues, like whether it's diabetes or hypertension or whatever. Let's identify it early. Let's give you some treatment for it to prevent things from becoming more serious and causing a chronic condition. What professions have I had during my life, and what do I work in now? So and in my life, that would include in the U.S. too. We can say I did a lot of work in hospitality, like waitressing, bartending, things like that. And I became involved in journalism. And I wanted to be able to get a better paying job. And you had to have a bachelor's degree to like go to the next level. So I went back to school in my 30s to get a bachelor's degree, and during which time I got involved with a film project. So I graduated with a Bachelor of Interdisciplinary Studies degree, which was basically taking the journalism, like a broadcast. So I was like going with the mindset of a writer, because I already was a writer for several local newspapers where I lived in California. There was like a single publisher that published several smaller newspapers that were like weekly newspapers for different small towns. And I worked for the publisher, so I would get assigned to cover things in all these different towns for the different newspapers. It wasn't just one newspaper. I worked for one publisher. And I loved it. I loved journalism. So, but I needed to get a degree. Then I got involved with it. So as a journalism major, there's also broadcasting journalism at the university. So I took that and I combined it with all the theater department, directing, acting, set design, blah, blah, blah. And so I got all the video work, the editing, the sound, everything on the broadcast. Not to mention, we had twice a week a live news broadcast show that we did on the local cable station. And so the university had its own channel on the local cable station. So our news broadcast was twice a week based on that. And we did that live, and we had to take part of every position. We rotated through every position. So of course, there's times where I'm in front of the camera as a news broadcaster. There's times where I was doing sound, doing lighting, doing the teleprompter. I love that. Doing the switcher, which is where it's like the producers go to camera 1, roll tape on 3, blah, 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 whatever. You know, they're doing all these orders into your head of what you're supposed to do. And your hand, it's going in your ear, and your brain translates it to your hands, and you're pushing buttons and you're sliding things and you're doing all these things. according to what the producer's putting in your ear. I love that. That was fun. I hated being the producer and having to be the one to make all those calls and tell people what to do. That was harder for me. Anyway, so then I worked in LA. So I got involved in film. All right, blah, blah. You can Google search my name and you'll see things I've done. But that combination of the life transition, because I worked in LA. I didn't work for a big studio, worked for a film sales agent, as well as working on some like independent films, doing craft service because of my hospitality background, um, catering, craft service, stuff like that. I've done production management on smaller films. So I was like, I knew people in Hollywood. I'd meet people. You bump shoulders with people and stuff, but I wasn't part of really the in crowd of studio life and studio working. But I know a lot of what goes on in Hollywood because I did live there and bump shoulders with people. All right, so that's that part of life. Um, because of the journalism, this is when the life changing happened. I went to Sundance the year that my Matt Dillon opened. He had his premiere of City of Ghosts, which was filmed in Cambodia. Amazing. You relate going to college later in life, 6 years straight in the 40s and late 40s and early 50s, got a master's in social work. What's your full name so I can research you? Miriam Ann Arthur. Go for it. There's tons of stuff out there. It's not private. It's tons of public stuff. You can find a variety of things. California, Utah. So, anyway, Cambodia, you can see a lot. Author. Oh, that's what we're getting to now. But yeah, Matt Dillon filmed the movie City of Ghosts in Cambodia. The shortest version is that led me here. Okay, because of seeing that movie. And the only reason I saw the movie is because, yes, he was a friggin' teenage heartthrob. I was born in 1966. I had the Tiger Beat pictures of him and Scott Baio and Sean Cassidy and, Leif Garrett and all that. Yeah, Tiger Beat, Teen Beat. I had the posters up on my walls for sure. Okay. So I thought, oh, yeah, he's opening his movie. There's press interviews available. I was there on a press pass. So I saw his movie and I had my interview. Not because I'm still like some girl crazy crush person, but it just piqued my interest because of that, and I'm not ashamed to say that. And so then, yeah, the movie piqued my interest. Oh, well, first, yes, the fact that he was a heartthrob piqued my interest to see his movie. Then his movie piqued my interest to go to Cambodia. Okay. Because he captured something. Well done for him. He captured something about Cambodia that, even though it's like a very dark themed movie, it catches the beauty. It catches the mystical. It's well done. And I have to say, he almost didn't have to do anything. It's just what rolling the film and the cinematographer, of course, capturing, choosing what he's going to capture on the film. Just by being in Cambodia, captured the culture. Like I'm sure there's a scene where the tuk-tuk driver, cyclo driver, sorry, talking so much I got the tickle. Okay, I'm gonna go.